Good morning, my dear students. Last class we had discussed about topic called functions of capital market. So in this class, this is fourth class. In this class, I am going to explain the topic called constituents of capital market. Constituents of capital markets means capital market consists of what? What it includes? So capital market includes stock exchange, merchant bankers, investors, stockbrokers, depositories, depository participants, market regulator, issuers. All people come in capital market. So here, let's go one by one. So first one, stock exchange. Stock exchange is a body which facilitates trading of securities. It is a body which facilitates trading of securities. Securities means, do you know what are securities? Shares, debentures, bonds, currencies, derivatives. These are all securities. So here, trading of such securities is possible in stock exchange. In simple words, stock exchange, it is a platform where we can buy shares, where we can sell shares, where we can sell currencies also, where we can buy currencies also, where we can do derivatives. So it is a platform, trading platform. So next, coming to merchant bankers. Merchant banker is responsible for contributing for offering consultancy services relating to mergers and acquisitions. When company go for mergers and acquisition, so then merchant banker will offer consultancy services and give consultancy services, give advice regarding capital raising through equity or debt. So when company want to raise capital, either equity or debt, in that time, if company have confusion, either collect money either from debt or equity. So then merchant banker will give advice regarding that, which source is best source to raise funds, whether equity or debt, which is the best source. So merchant banker will give advice on that, and then giving advice to businesses that plan to enter the international market. The businesses who have decided to go for international market. So here a merchant banker will give advice about that also, and then give advice on underwriting, give advice on issue management. So here merchant banker will offer all these services. What are services? So give advice on mergers and acquisition. The company which want to go for mergers and acquisition, giving advice to that, and giving advice on capital raising either through equity or debt, and giving advice on businesses which want to go for international markets, and giving advice on issue management, giving advice on underwriting. See here, underwriting services, providing underwriting services, issue management services. So all these services offered by merchant bankers. Not only giving advice on underwriting, so they may took that responsibility also. Not only giving advice on portfolio management, it may took that responsibility also, isn't it? So overall, it provides offering all consultant services. So this player also comes in capital market. Next, investors. So investors are a most important part of capital market, as they are the ones who spend capital in subscribing the shares which are issued by issuers. Say investors, important players. So they buy, they subscribe shares in primary market in the form of IPO, initial public offer, rights issue, private placement. Through these modes, so investor going to buy shares from company in primary market. In secondary market, stock market, so the investors they can buy shares, buy second hand shares. In the stock market, so the people who do not want the people who don't want to retain shares, so buying such shares, so somebody don't want to have so and so company shares, so then they can sell those shares to the people who want to buy such shares. So in this way, when the people who buy, they are investors in stock market. So in this way, investors are key important. They play a very important role in stock market, very important component in capital market. So they buy shares uh, in primary market through modes of IPO, rights, private placement, rights issue, etc. In the stock market, uh, they buy certain so and so company shares from other seller of such securities. So investors are key component in capital market. And coming to stockbrokers in stock market, so here stockbroker is a registered member of stock exchange. So we can't directly trade securities on stock exchange. We people can't possible to trade securities directly on stock exchanges. So, so we buy securities from on stock exchange. We sell securities on stock exchange only through stockbrokers. They are registered members of stock exchange. Through brokers, we can buy say securities. We can sell securities on stock exchange. Or in simple words, so stockbrokers, they buy securities, they sell securities as per the directions given by investors or we people, retail investors or individual clients, according to our requirements. So if we want to buy securities in stock exchange, so stockbrokers are there, so they will buy securities on behalf of us and they will sell securities on behalf of us as per directions given by us. So they are registered members of stock exchange. So through them we can buy and sell securities in the stock exchange. So we can't directly trade transactions on stock exchange, isn't it? So next, coming to depositories. Depositories are just like banks. So in bank, so here clients' deposits are maintained at bank, isn't it? So like that, depository also. So here, so our securities, our mutual fund units, our debts are maintained, books of accounts are maintained in depositories. Depository keep maintaining a record of our securities like our shares, debentures, mutual fund units, bonds, etc. What are the holdings what we have? Our holdings have been maintained by depositories. So here their work is when we sell securities to somebody else, so then their work is by making entry in books of account, by debiting, by deleting the security which is sold to somebody else, and they make entry by adding security to books of accounts when we buy securities. When we buy securities, so depository job is making entry by adding securities to our account. So in this way, so depository means is nothing but maintaining the records relating to the holdings of our holdings, maintaining the records of our holdings. Our holdings means how many securities are there, how many shares are there, how many mutual fund units are there, how many debts are how much debts are there. So here maintain a record by depositories, isn't it? So when we sell, so make a debit in books of accounts by depository. So when we buy make a entry by crediting to our books of accounts. This is the function of depository. So and then depository participant. So depository participant is a mediator intermediary between investor and depositories. So here I forgotten. So depositories in stock market depositories. So here NSDL is there, National Securities Depository Limited is there. That depository relating to NSE, National Stock Exchange. So when we buy NSC, so when we buy shares at NSC, National Stock Exchange, so here our stock will be maintained by NSDL, National Securities Depository Limited. So when we buy securities at BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange, so our holdings have been maintained by will be maintained by CDSL, Central Depository Securities Limited, isn't it? I think you understand that. If we buy securities at NSC, so our holdings will be maintained by National Securities Depository Limited, NSDL. When we buy securities at BSC, so our securities will be maintained by CDSL, Central Depository Securities Limited. So these are all depositories in India. So here depository participant means intermediary between investor and depositories, because we can't directly participate with depositories. So that's why we have to do transactions with the depository through depository participants. They are intermediaries between depository and investors. So we can do transactions with depository through depository participant. What we want to communicate to depository, that is only possible through depository participants. And then market regulator. So there are also component of a part of capital market regulators. So here SEBI is there, Securities Exchange Board of India is there to regulate all stock exchanges in India, and RBI is there to control all banking sector in India, and Department of Company Affairs, DCA is there. See here all regulatory agencies are there. They are a part of capital market. Next, issuers. Issuers means issuers of securities like shares, bonds, etc. They raise capital from investors by issuing shares. Issuers raise capital by issuing shares to them. So in that process, so they can take the help of merchant bankers. So here the merchant bankers will give advice on the timing of issue of shares, the price of issuing of shares. So they will give advice on timing of issue, price of issue. So that's why issuers will take the help of merchant bankers. So they raise capital by issuing shares. So they are issuers. So these are all constituents or components or part of these are all people come in capital market. So in this class we have discussed about constituents of capital market. So thank you students, thank you and all.